You're watching Oilers Nation Everyday with Tyler Yaremchuk. Your one-stop shop for all things Oilers. You're watching Oilers Nation Everyday with Tyler Yaremchuk. Your one-stop shop for all things Oilers. You're watching Oilers Nation Everyday with Tyler Yaremchuk. Your one-stop shop for all things Oilers.
One, two, three. Now you count.
4, 5, 6. Mic test, mic test, mic test.
Let's get into it with the lead.
Maybe.
I do see the lines working. I see lines moving.
Oh.
I'm waiting for the chat. We aren't good until someone in the chat says,
Yay!
let's go!
Way to go, everybody.
Shout out to Zach Phillips from Leafs Nation.
We called everyone.
He saved us. We called everyone in the company to figure this out, and we did. So in the first two takes, I did a funny bit where I did like the 21 Savage, like 1, 2, 3. Then I said I have 9 blisters on my hands.
And you said sports closet, and I said, did you get Band-Aids? You said, no, I got an Eric Zabrowski jersey.
Yeah, and then that's kind of where we left things off. But anyways, welcome into the show. It feels good to be back. The show, as always, a presentation of Bet365. Download the app today and use the promo code NATION. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Liam, this is my first show since July 30th? Something like that.
Something around. Wow, yes, it is.
Because, yeah, August 1st, July, there's 31 days in July. So, yeah, the 30th.
No, the 29th. Yeah, the 30th.
30th, yeah.
31 days.
So I haven't done a show in a long time, but I'm very excited to be back.
Welcome back. I'm glad you're back. I was running out of things to talk about.
Well, I was gonna say we're gonna do that in a little bit. We're gonna talk about what I missed during my basically 3 weeks of being gone. Yeah. Obviously, we had the hole-in-one challenge on Monday. We're gonna have to recap that as well. YouTube chat. Shout out to our friends at Odd Company Brewing, Nation Beer Everyday Lager, a crisp, clean lager crafted not just for game day, but for every day. Find them, one of their 2 spots in Edmonton. But yeah, I'm back. As the chat says, I'm married. I have a nice wedding ring on now, so that's certainly exciting.
Almost didn't.
Almost didn't?
Not because it's a wedding, just because you almost get it surgically removed.
Yeah, my fingers were so swollen after Monday, I couldn't get it off. But anyways, we had a really good time at the wedding. We can start there.
Let's go in chronological order.
Yeah, let's go chronological order.
Okay.
So I did my last show with you guys on Wednesday. I thought by the time I was back, Connor McDavid might have signed. That obviously didn't end up happening. And then we had my wedding on the Saturday.
We did. Beautiful day for it.
Yeah. Oh, my God. The weather was unbelievable early on.
There was that one little part where it wasn't so cool.
Was it the part where in my house I don't have air conditioning and it was 35 degrees?
That wasn't awesome, but it was fine. It was a basement. It was when we were taking photos, and all of a sudden someone just dropped a bucket of water. Remember the rain?
Oh, yeah, when we were taking photos, yeah.
That was crazy.
So, wedding, we limoed to the church. Yep. We're on time.
Well on time.
We're doing great.
Yeah.
Pull up to the church, waiting. Ceremony's supposed to start at 1. This is honestly top 3 most stressful moments of my life. Not from the perspective of I thought Amber wasn't going to show up.
Yeah.
But the girls leaving the house where they were getting ready at, they were running late.
Yeah, very late.
And I walked up to one of the people who were ushers. I think it was Josh, or it might have been Amber's brother. And I was like, hey, what time is it? And I think they said something like, oh, it's 1:04. And I was like, oh my God, they're still not here. And I go and I talk to my brother-in-law, Kelly, and he's tracking their location. He's like, dude, they're not even on the hen day yet.
Oh, no.
And I'm like, oh my God, it's already 1:04. So 6-7 minutes goes by, and I'm just pacing around the church. Because I knew they were coming.
But it's still, you're already nervous getting in there. You were nervous going.
Yeah. So I'm already nervous. There is a church full of people waiting for this ceremony. And I just hated being is this going to be 30 minutes delayed and everyone's got to sit in this church? And I'm borderline, I'm not fully freaking out, but I'm kind of angry. And I'm how do they not leave on time? Yeah. Never mind not leaving on time. How do you leave that late? I'm starting to freak out. Anyways, I look at my clock eventually and it's still only 1:04. So I'm okay, whoever told me the time initially was 9 minutes off, which is an eternity in this perspective of things, or in this situation. So they finally did show up at 1:11. Not the end of the world. Felt like the end of the world to me. I was just sitting in the front foyer where we had a putting game set up. Yeah. And I was just hitting putts, trying to pass the time. So nervous. They finally do show up. We're finally able to get it going. The ceremony was great.
It was good. Shout out Father Bo, Father Rendy.
Yeah, Father Bo.
Rendy. What a time he had.
Well, so that's the other thing, too. So Father Rendy, who is a family member of mine, he's done a bunch of weddings in my family.
So funny.
He loses, and he's an older gentleman. Yeah. He's in his late 50s, I would say. He loses one of the lenses in his glasses early on in the ceremony.
Very early.
So we're standing up at the front of the church. There's a bunch of stuff that I need to remember because, like, there's a way a traditional Ukrainian wedding goes. I got to step over things. I got to walk around things. I got to wear things. Meanwhile, Father Rendy is trying to read with one of his lenses out. And then while the other priest is doing readings, Father Rendy's like, when he finds his lens, he's like trying to pop it back in, but the other priest keeps like throwing it to him.
Didn't realize that he had lost his lens.
Yeah, it was hilarious. You guys all loved that the priest like sing the whole ceremony.
Oh, yeah. It was it's my second Ukrainian wedding.
Yeah.
And the singing is always something. It is singing, but it's more just like, this is going to sound dumb, just like talking in like a harmony.
In like a rhythm.
Yeah,
There's
rhythm.
like
That's a better word for it. But yeah, it's quite, it's very different. They did a good job of keeping it, like, because Ukrainian weddings can go very long.
It was tight. It was like 40 minutes.
Yeah, this one wasn't as bad as it made out it could have been.
Yeah. So that was great. Then we go for photos.
Yeah.
We get a good amount of photos done, and then it just starts pouring. The skies open up on us.
If you're at the Elks game that day, you would know what we're talking about. It was that day. It was
right
crazy.
in the thick of it. Yeah. The Elks came on August 2nd. So what do? We went to McDonald's, which was hilarious. We ate our burgers. You crushed food.
I was so hungry.
You were so hungry.
Because all we had was those bagels. And then at this point, it's like probably 4.
Yeah.
I was hungry, boy. Hungry boy.
Got back, or we went to a brewery after.
Yeah.
And we all load back into the party bus, all the wedding party.
All of us.
And we start driving away. And my brother-in-law, because everyone in the wedding party for the most part had like a couple, right? My brother-in-law and my sister. We had like Connor, Julia, Sierra, John, Amy, Eli. And then you and my other sister were like the oddball couple because your significant others weren't there. Everyone was supposed to look out for their buddies. We start pulling out of the parking lot, and all of a sudden Kelly just goes, "Oh my God, where's Liam?"
I had to go to the bathroom, and I told someone, I think it was John, and I went to the bathroom and came back. Everyone was obviously gone, so I just came out to the bus, and there it was, driving away. So luckily, I was able to catch it. It didn't like drive too far away. I just had to kind of meet it in the parking lot, but it wasn't driving up to pick me up. I'll tell you that much.
So, we almost lost Liam, went back to the church hall, had a great party. Everyone got super drunk.
Yeah.
It was a very good time.
It was awesome. Great speeches.
Yeah, the speeches were very good.
Funny. Tyler did 2 ad reads in his speech.
I had to do an Oodle Noodle ad read because Oodle Noodle provided the midnight snack, which
was a hit.
So, like, we had 150 people at the wedding, and usually the numbers taper off, like, kind of quick, and then you're left with, like, a big party crew. Yeah. We did a count at like 11:30, like half an hour till last call.
Was there,
there was 120 of the 150 people were still at the wedding. So when the midnight snack kind of came around, that Oodle Noodle got polished off.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
It was really good. They just gave it like, there was all these, what was that, 4 or 5 trays or whatever there was?
No, there's 10 trays.
Jesus Christ.
And we ate 9.5 of them. There's half a tray left at the end.
And they just gave us, if you've been to it, I don't know, they have the box.
Yeah.
And you just like kind of, it was like potluck.
Yeah, you filled your own box up. Yeah.
It was great.
The food was great. Buffet was great. Oodle Noodle was great.
Drinks were great. Definitely not singles.
Definitely not singles. No.
Those were...
shout out to Waz, Brett, and Eli, who ran the ticket sales for the Toonie Bar.
That was awesome. I actually took over Eli's job for a
with
while.
The Polaroids?
And some people got some... I took some nice pictures home of them.
Yeah.
It was awesome. It was a great day. I had a lot of fun. I was in some pain the next day. I won't lie.
You were hungover?
I was very
You didn't
hungover.
even make it to the end.
I left at like 12:30.
Yeah.
I left after last call because I was not willing. I wasn't ready to go. But then I saw Aaron was leaving. I'm like, this is a great opportunity to leave. But the next day, I went to, and I got to stop doing this, but it seems like every time I have a wedding, I have to go somewhere the next day. So we went to La Ronde, which is the spinning restaurant. So I'm like trying to eat breakfast and literally spinning.
Yeah.
It was a tough one. So food is great, but I was struggling the nest day, especially, spinning around in circles for an hour straight was Not ideal.
No.
But it was awesome.
Yeah, people always say like, "Oh, your wedding day fly." I didn't find that it like flew by. Like it was a long day.
Yeah,
I I remember everything really well. I like sat back a lot. We had a great wedding party that like helped with a lot of stuff. So, anyways, 10 out of 10 wedding day for those of you who cared. I had a 10 out of 10 honeymoon.
Yeah,
I went swimming with manta rays.
Oh yeah, let me look that up.
So yeah, look up a manta ray. These things are fucking huge. And one of the Uber drivers, and I don't know if this is just something they tell you so you go do it, but he was like, we were on the big island in Hawaii. And he was like, this is the only island in Hawaii where you can do it. He's like, I think it's one of the few spots in the world you can swim with these manta rays. So what you do is you load up onto a boat. We load up at like 10:30 at night. So it is pitch black out. And they drive you just like straight line 3 minutes out into the ocean.
Yeah.
I'm not the best swimmer. I don't love the water, but we wanted to do this because we wanted to be like adventurous and whatnot. So we drive 3 minutes out. They put a surfboard into the water. Surfboard's got a rope around it. They plop 3 lights in, and then they put a car battery on top of the surfboard. This feels very dangerous.
Car battery?
Dude, it was fucked. And then they just like attach the things, power it up, and the surfboard then lights up like 20 feet around you.
Yeah.
And what that does is the light brings like plankton up to the surface.
Okay.
And that's what these manta rays eat.
Damn.
And these things are huge. Like my wingspan is 6 foot, over 6 feet. These things there were a lot of them that were bigger than my wingspan. Oh. Like they're huge. And they're not afraid of humans at all. So you go and you have to jump into the water and swim like 15 feet to this surfboard. So again, it is pitch black, middle of the ocean. And you just swim out to this surfboard, and they give you a dollar store pool noodle to put by your feet.
Gosh.
And you grab onto the surfboard, and then the pool noodle keeps your feet up. So you're floating like perfectly flat, but you have to like keep yourself up.
Yeah.
And you're belly down, and these manta rays come, like they were touching me at one point.
Oh God.
And they're like, at times they're like 8 feet long. And they just swim right up to your stomach because they want to eat the plankton that are floating up by the surface. Oh. And you float in the middle of the ocean for half an hour, and these manta rays just swim up, and you watch them like dive down and like come up and come like right past you. And their mouths are like this big. For podcast listeners, their mouths are like 3 feet big.
They just Google it. They're ginormous.
They're massive. No life jacket. Like you just, I see Aiden ask that. You just jump into the ocean and like go. And then after half an hour, they just kind of are like, all right, swim back to the boat. And you just swim back to the boat and they drive you back to shore.
That is free. I would never do that.
It was freaky as hell. You don't do do water on the best of days.
I barely dip my feet in. They must know. That must be like invasive waters, you know what I mean? Like they can't be like dangerous animals in there.
No, and I think maybe that's part of the reason they do it at night.
Yeah.
Because after Amber looked up like what eats manta rays, and it's like, oh, sharks. Oh, and I'm like, so we're just swimming in a collection of like 30 massive pieces of shark meat. Like,
yeah, I'm looking these things up, and they can grow up to 30 feet.
Yes.
Wide.
So he said there's one that cruises around the big island, and they said they call it whatever name they had for it. Yeah. And he's like, it's 35 or 30 feet, 25 feet. Like. It was huge. We didn't see that one, thankfully. I would have shit my pants.
Oh, my goodness.
I would have been like, you know what, I'm out.
It'd be like a whale.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, not a chance.
Yeah.
That is spooky. See any other cool animals?
We didn't do anything else that was like touristy in the sense of like we didn't go on like a boat tour or any other time, whatever. But we went to Target and we got like cheap snorkel gear, and I would just find like a quiet beach, and I would just swim like 15, 20 feet out, and I would just go still in an area where like I could stand if I needed to, but you would just like go into the water and you put your face down and there'd be fish like 2 feet fish that
just swimming,
and like cool like looks to them and all of that. So that was great.
The hockey eye, is that what killed Steve earlier? No, that was a stingray.
Yeah,
unfortunately.
Yeah, stingray got Steve. R.I.P. But I was ready to throw hands if I saw one of those for Steve.
I think I was in Thailand.
Really?
Yeah, that sounds spooky. The golf, though. Were there any of those, like, you know it better than me, obviously, but, like, were any of them, like, world-famous golf courses? Or were they just kind of like, oh, these are all really nice golf courses?
Yeah, they're all really nice. I don't know if any of them would qualify as, like, world-famous. There was one, it's Turtle Bay. It was an Arnold Palmer course. I actually found that one to be a little bit overrated. The best one we played, though, on the Big Island, the Kona Country Club.
Okay.
Dead quiet in the middle of the day. The best thing about Hawaii, all their like twilight tea times start at noon because the locals just golf in the morning.
Okay, so hot.
Because it's so hot, right?
Yeah.
Even though it's only 30, It was hot, but like,
yeah, you can survive.
It's not unbearable. The Kona golf course, there's like 7 of the holes are right on the water, and like right by the coast where like the waves are big. So like you're hitting a tee shot and waves are like crashing up onto the shore.
Really?
It was. I'll show you some of the pictures after. It was unreal. That was probably my favorite course that I played. Played another one in Oahu called Koalina, which was like very bougie. Like they come grab your clubs from the car and like give you everything you need. At the end of it, they give you a cold towel to like wipe down with, and they clean your clubs and all that. So the golf was awesome. Air Canada allowed me to play 2 more rounds of golf.
Shout out Air Canada.
Shout out Air Canada. That was very considerate of them. They were like, you know what, Tyler, you haven't had enough fun. We want you to stay there for a few more days.
Were you able to golf just the 2 of you? Did you get paired up?
We didn't get paired up once. We played 7 times in our what ended up being 12 days there.
Yeah.
No, 13 days there. So we played 7 times. Didn't get paired up once.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was awesome.
That's what you want. There's nothing worse than getting paired up. One guy.
Mr. Kate says Kona Country Club is 15 minutes from my house. It is a beautiful course. When I go back, I'm going back to the Big Island and not like Oahu. Honolulu was so busy. I didn't like it. It's like a big city, right? Which I should have known from researching it. But when you spend enough time on like the quiet like Kona area where it's like a lot more locals and like whatever, and then you go to like tourists everywhere.
Is that
like,
where people go? Honolulu and Maui are kind of the big two.
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah. Anyways, I had a great honeymoon, great wedding, and now I'm back and I'm ready to. Do we want to do hole-in-one challenge?
Keep going. Yeah.
So I'm probably going to get really into it on Real Life. If you want to listen to that later this afternoon, download that wherever you get your podcast from. So obviously the last few days of my trip with the Air Canada thing were pretty anxiety filled.
Yeah.
Had to rebook a flight on Alaskan Airlines. Cost me $3,000. Awesome. I'm worried that Air Canada is going to because I had to get back for the hole-in-one challenge. Was worried that Air Canada was going to rebook me and I was going to be out all this money. So like I'm sleeping like shit. Saturday night, we finally fly back from Hawaii. We took the red eye. We left at like 10 p.m. Hawaii time or 9 p.m., whatever it was.
Which is like 2 a.m. here.
Our time, yeah. So we have a 5.5-hour flight to Seattle. I slept that whole flight. I did also sleep on the like hour-and-a-half flight from Seattle to Edmonton. Yeah. So I got like 6-7 hours of sleep, but it was only on an airplane.
You're great at sleeping on planes.
I am good at sleeping on planes.
Yeah. Many qualities.
Yeah. So I slept for 6-7 hours on the plane, but it's garbage plane sleep. Not very good. Sunday night, our bag did get left in Seattle, but they were like, don't worry, we'll get it on the next plane into Edmonton, and it'll be at your house by 8 p.m. Sunday night, which is crazy that they can pull that off.
They're pretty good at doing that.
If they find your bag, they get it back to you quick.
Yeah.
Anyways, the guy who's driving back our bag from the airport doesn't end up getting to our house till 11. Oh. So I wake up, it's 11 o'clock, I'm up. Get our bag, whatever, fall back asleep. I sleep for like 4 hours, and then at 4 a.m., alarm goes off because I got to be at the course 4:30 on Monday.
Yeah.
At the course 4:30 on Monday, you joined me there. Reese was there. Pat Puff was there as well.
Super dark.
It was pitch black.
Cold, wet.
We're trying to set up with like our lights and all of that. I'm running on very little sleep. We run into a couple of issues with our setup, but all in all, not too bad.
Spirits are very high.
Yeah. 6:30 a.m. Monday. I have slept 7 hours on a plane, 4 hours, 11 hours the last 2 nights, mainly garbage sleep.
Not ideal.
We start golfing. I start golfing. Setup is done. The night before, we were at the course till like 8:30 as well. I start golfing. We're 45 minutes in. I lip out.
It was brutal.
It was brutal.
It was so close.
Looking back on it, it's interesting because at that point there were like maybe 90 to 100 people watching this shot at 36 minutes in. We're talking 7:10 a.m.-ish. This one lips out. And man, was it ever close.
Could you see that?
I saw it. Oh yeah, I could see the pin pretty well from 160 yards out. It's funny because like by the end of the night, there were, 600-700 people watching the stream. And we ended up having over 30,000 people watch the hole-in-one ace race stream.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was great. And we ended up raising like well north of $5,000. And we got some on-site donations as well, which were great. If that first one goes in, it just kind of ends there. And the stream's done, and I sunk it early, and it's a totally different like story arc of all of this.
You almost like have to try and hit it a second time.
Almost,
You almost have to keep going.
Because the stream would have just been a bit of a dud. But even then, like, there would have been no struggle later on in the day because I would have been like, I already hit one. I'm going to hit balls till 5 o'clock, then I'm going to stop.
Yeah.
it ended up turning into something that was way bigger than I think we thought it was going to turn into.
Yeah, it did.
Like my phone was blowing up. There were people watching that like I hadn't talked to in years. We had people from different parts of the hockey world watching. We raised a ton of money for Sports Central. It was awesome. The idea of it being a 24-hour stream, I think I was going into it, I knew I had to pace myself. Mm-hmm. But then it gets going, and I lip out 45 minutes in, and I'm starting to think like, okay, if I keep pushing here,
you can do it.
I can do it early in the day.
Yeah.
So I start going really hard, right? Oh, our camera's frozen. Anyways, I still think people can hear us. So, yeah, people can still hear us. So we're just going to keep talking. I start thinking I can pull this thing off, so I kind of kick into overdrive. And I'm hitting like 45 balls every 30 minutes. I'm hitting quick. Teeing up my own shots and just hitting.
Yeah.
Because I think if I get close again, like it's going to go in. That was probably my downfall. And where I think the sleep deprivation got to me is I eventually just kind of kicked into a mode where like I was very clearly exhausted and out of energy. But I was so like hyper focused and my body was like almost going into shock where like I wasn't eating. I wasn't really drinking a lot. I wasn't taking breaks. I was just hitting. I know our counter said like 1950. I think it was closer to probably 2100.
I think it was over that as well.
Yeah.
It was hard to keep track of. Because the ball, especially when it got dark too. Like, yeah. I know there was about 40 balls left somewhere around there. Like, yeah. We just couldn't find them after a while. It was getting difficult to get them, but yeah, whatever it was, I think it was over 2,000 at least.
Which, again, shout out to Cattail Crossing because, like...
They were fantastic.
They were unbelievable. And we did probably leave, like, 40 balls. Because when we packed up at 10:30, it was pitch black. Like, yeah. I did a lap up and down the fairway with, like, the light. And, like, I picked up maybe 20 balls, but I was like, I know there's other stuffs in here. So Cattail Crossing, for them allowing us to do it, was unbelievable. Mulek, you were doing a ball every 30 seconds the entire day. Yeah, so it works out to a ball every 30 seconds over 18 hours.
Yeah.
So like I know I put my body through a lot, and everyone sends really nice messages. That was awesome. I appreciate you guys. Everyone who watched, everyone who donated, it means a lot. The Nation team, like you guys stuck it out. There were multiple people there all day. People came back for second shifts when they didn't have to. Like
there's people there who just stuck around.
Yeah. Which like at the end of it, when like my phone is blowing up with people messaging me, being like, "Don't give up. Like I've been watching all day. You can do it." And like you guys are all there cheering me on, and like it was so much at the end. And I took my golf gloves off for the first time in like 8.5 hours, and it was just like. Oh, I looked at my hands and I was just like, I can't like physically do this anymore. And like when you do it for that long and like how many did I probably stick to within 2 feet? Probably 25, maybe more.
No, way more.
And you lip out the 2 times and you have the ones that zip by it by 8 inches. And it's like by the time it's 10:30 at night and we've sat through a storm and all of this stuff. And I'm just like, man, I don't have it in me anymore.
Yeah.
So had to give up. There was a couple things that we also like didn't account for. Like when we tested out lighting up the green in the morning when it was dark, it was like, okay, these lights behind, I can see the pin. Yep. The camera can see the pin. Like we're going to be all right. What you don't account for is having to collect balls in the dark.
Yeah.
That sucks. And then the wind, the temperature drop, and then the storm. Like everything just kind of mounted. And it was like, hey, we got to call this. So gave it a solid 18 hours, did my best. And I guess we'll do it again next year at some point.
Now, this is going to sound like a silly thing to say, considering what happened. But I almost think it shouldn't be 24 hours, but just limitless. In the sense of, if you do 24 hours, you're on such a time crunch that you feel like you can't go on a break. But if we're like, okay, like, Ty just has to hit this, however long it takes, and then we, like, figure out something to do where, like, you have, like, a nap, for example, or like you just take a break. It's probably better to do rather than say like, oh no, you have to keep going. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like that gives you the opportunity. Then if it goes 26 hours, for example, at least you've probably had a break for 4.
Yeah.
You know, that might work out a little bit better.
I think that's fair. Mainlander Tim says this should become an annual event. A different ON staff member should attempt to accomplish it next year. I am stubborn and I'm competitive.
You have to do it.
I'm running it back next year. Yeah. I am so hell-bent on that. Like, I am going to attempt it again next year, and I am going to do it. And we already have a ton of ideas for like ways we can raise more money because that really is what it's all about.
Yeah.
So yeah, and just reading the chat, like Jazz Mookie, what you didn't account for is hitting 800 in the first 2 hours, which I'm pretty sure I got pretty close to doing that. Probably. But again, like there were a couple of things. It was almost getting it. Totally fucked me. And then secondly, there was I felt a bit of pressure to like keep the stream entertaining as the numbers started to go up because I didn't want to be like, I'm taking 30 minutes off and then people stop watching. So
I think the commentary worked out a lot better than we anticipated.
Yeah, it did.
I think a couple of things. We need to get closer to the pin.
But now I'm almost like that's part of the, like if I move into 130 and I get it, I'll be like, it's because I moved into 130.
But even like 150.
Yeah, maybe 10 more yards would help.
Not even that much closer, because I think I would have made a huge difference, because another part of it that was a struggle is you'll be able to see it a little bit here. At the front of the green, there's a big, like, it's not a big hill, but it's like, if you don't get over it, you're kind of, it's a bit of an obstacle. And now that's Tyler breaking his 5-wood, which was hilarious.
My 5-iron, yeah.
The 5-iron,
You can see how far that flew, too. Like, that's crazy.
It's crazy to think, like, your club was just like that one down from essentially this. And now it's just gone.
Well, so by that point, I kind of did like some rough math, like remembering throughout the day. I hit that club 1,300 times.
In a row.
Yeah. So like it was obviously going to break. And then this one, this was the worst one because it was 730. If I would have hit it, it would have been an all-time clip of like, I did it. I finally did it. And it lipped out and sat there too.
I was buying you snacks at that point. I was at Superstore, just about to head out.
Oh my God. This is like so painful for me to watch.
There was another one too, which you didn't like that I brought up, but I just had to for commentary purposes. We switched the hole. Like the course told us that they wanted to switch it, and they left like a bit of a lid, I guess you could say, on top of the old one. And I kid you not, probably about 30 minutes after, Ty rolled right over the middle of it. And I was just like, oh, damn it.
Yeah.
Not ideal. But it was fun. It was fun to be a part of.
Yep.
The people made it great. Like, shout out to everyone who watched. Honestly,
everyone in the chat, like,
I mean, so amazing.
Mistaken Mexican deserves a gold star. I see he just dropped another $50 super chat in. Let's go. Amazing job with Tyler's Glory Hole Challenge. Raised a ton of money. Really hope to see it again next year. Can't wait for the ON Open next weekend. Yes. Cannot wait for the ON Open next weekend. Mistaken Mexican, you were great. Everyone who donated, you were amazing. I want to give a shout out to my dad.
Shout out to Dad.
He came, and at the end, if you were watching the stream, and my dad's usually not one to be willing to go on camera, he didn't care.
No.
He wanted me to rest. My dad was going and teeing up the balls for me, which was awesome. So my family came and gave me some support too. So it was awesome. It took on a life of its own.
There was, that was one other thing. We probably need someone to do that for you next year. We were honestly like short-manned.
A little bit.
At certain moments of the day, it was just like, oh, we don't have, like, especially early in the morning, like, because Pat was there, I was there, and Reese was there.
Yeah.
But we all had kind of roles we had to fill in at the moment. So I know people kept saying that. It wasn't out of, we didn't want to help.
Yeah.
We just couldn't.
And another thing that would help, like, I mean, Aaron being on vacation. Aaron did a ton of the work leading up to it. Like, this doesn't happen if it's not for Aaron and Nick Caroli.
Yeah.
But, like, next year, if we could get it so, like, the Edmonton office can just focus on the course. And if we could have, like, a Zach, Vic, like, a rotation of people remoting in, our producers from other cities. Because then we could even mix in, like, the Vancouver guys could help at the later shifts and, like,
yeah, because that was the other thing. People had to come to the office to run the show.
Yeah.
Like, Zach Phillips in Toronto did help a lot as well. But, yeah, Reese and Pat and Eli, I think, was part of it as well. It was a much bigger operation than maybe what people saw on the screens.
Yeah, and technically it went crazy smooth, so.
Really good. Ironically, the only thing that went wrong was the... Elon Musk's Starlink went down worldwide.
Yeah.
And that was the only thing that went wrong. And keep in mind when I say that, we had 500 feet of Ethernet cable running across the cord, and that stuck out all day. But Elon Musk's Starlink, which he's put millions in, did not work for about 25 minutes.
Yeah. Mainlander Tim, 2026 idea, get cattailed the snow fence off a beer garden next to the green, turn into a gallery. We could totally do that. We'll talk more ideas on real life probably. Our camera's back. Sweet.
Thanks, Brett.
Yeah, thanks, Brett. Good work. And you guys are going to call me an idiot. I know the guys on real life will call me an idiot because we really want to blow this thing up next year.
Yeah.
The only thing we need is a contingency plan for, like, if you plan a massive event with a beer garden and you want it to go, like, again, 12, 13, 14 hours.
If it doesn't work, if you get it early, what do we
do?
If
I get it early, what's the plan, right?
I have an idea.
Okay.
So I was saying, like, obviously, no time limit, just keep going. in that time, that's when we set up our own Oilers Nation closest to the pin challenge. But you do it in a bracket. So you do like head-to-heads, and you each get, say, 5 shots each. Okay. And then you just like build your way into the middle. And
that'd be cool.
Final. That'll probably take an hour, I would think.
Yeah, you could definitely fill it up with little challenges.
Yeah, and that's one way to do it. And then you could maybe even do like a putting challenge. Like, there's ways to do it, I think.
To like keep the day going.
Keep the day going, and even if, like you said, it ends early, like maybe that's an option. We get people from the audience if you come watch. Like, how do you get involved in it as well? There's a lot we can do with it, and Cattail, I think, would be very accommodating to it as well.
They were I can't say enough about
good.
Like, even when we went to go set up the day before, like, I was like, hey, like, we're gonna try to stay out of the way, and they were literally like, do whatever you need to do to make this happen. Like, they literally gave me the keys to the course. Yeah. And they were like, you're going to be the first one here tomorrow morning and the last one to leave. Here's the keys. Lock up. We trust you. It was unbelievable.
Well, even as it got dark, I forget the guy, Mateo,
one of the assistant pro,
came by, gave us a glow-in-the-dark flag.
Yeah.
And then also gave us glow balls. Like, no one else was there. He might have come back.
He came back home. He went home and came back, I believe.
Like,
he gave me a 2-iron because he could tell I was getting gas, like all that stuff. So Jason.
They had it on in the clubhouse, too. It was on all day.
So Jason, Mateo, Brandy, everyone at Cattail, you guys were rock stars. Yes. And on that note, I know it's 12:43 already, which is crazy. We do have to talk some hockey. So we'll leave this. If you want more of this talk, we're going to do it all on Real Life later with me, Chalmers, Jay, Wani, and the guys. But we're going to call this next segment, What Did Tyler Miss? And it's brought to you by our friends at Sherwood Power Sports and Marine. I believe next Tuesday we're going fishing with them. Okay. So put that in your calendar. We might not have an ONE episode next Tuesday. Maybe we'll do one Monday, more on that later. Maybe we'll have something to talk about Monday. Wink, wink. But Tuesday, we're going to go fishing with our friends at Sherwood Power Sports and Marine. They offer door-to-door service on boats, everything like that. All your fishing needs, get it at Sherwood Power Sports and Marine, right in the heart of Sherwood Park. This segment is called, What Did Tyler Miss? This is my first show since July 30th or 29th or whatever. So I've been able to talk hockey for a few weeks. I missed that. Yeah. You got to talk hockey for the last few weeks.
I did my best to talk hockey, that's for sure.
So let's go through some of the stuff. What did you talk about? What did I miss? What do I need to give the people my take on?
Okay. So there wasn't obviously a ton that happened. Some small things you missed. Condor signed a few players. Matt's Lindgren's son signed for the Bakersfield Condors.
Okay, I saw Luke Prokop signed.
Prokop signed. We had Stephen Ellis, who talked about the Halinka and how Canada was like bound to win, and they lost to the US the next day in the semifinals. So that was pretty funny. But these are the 5 things that I think were somewhat key to conversations we had.
Okay.
So Ilya Sorokin, there was a report, obviously, that there was like maybe some conversation between the Oilers and the Islanders. He said he did not want to join the Oilers, and there was no conversation about waiving.
So Sorokin said that?
I believe Sorokin said that, yes.
Wow.
So that was big. Sebastian Cossa has been linked to the Oilers, but this was reported from Cam Robinson. The Oilers actually called on Trey Augustine, and then he speculated that maybe they would have interest in the Oilers. And I guess Bob has also said a few things, but also never specifically said Cossa. So I don't actually know if they have any interest in Sebastian Cossa, or everyone's just like, oh, well, if the Red Wings don't want to give up Trey Augustine, who is still at Michigan State, I believe, then maybe Kossa's a guy, obviously a former Oil King. One time I interviewed Sebastian Cossa, and right before I was shaved my face, and I cut my lip.
Oh, my God.
So throughout the entire interview, my lip is bleeding. It was amazing stuff.
That's a mess. So the reason why this makes sense... The reason why this makes sense for the Red Wings is they have Cossa, 22 years old, and they have Trey Augustine. Both, what would you call them, top 10 goalie prospects in the hockey world?
100%, yes.
Like, both maybe even close, higher than that.
Yeah.
So if you're Detroit, you have Gibson for the next 2 years, and then eventually you're going to hand over the reins to one of Cossa or Augustine.
Yeah.
If you want both Cossa and Augustine to properly develop, you probably can't have them both on the same American League team. You probably need to give one of them a chance to like work on a starter's workload at some point. I don't think this year is the point where you have to do it, which is why maybe they have some more time. But next summer might come the inflection point where you go, okay, we can't keep Cossa and Augustine and have them, each split time in Bakersfield. You probably want to vet with one of them if you're going to like seriously develop them properly. And then the year after that would be when Gibson's done and you re-up him, get another veteran, whatever you end up doing. The path to Detroit trading one of them this summer, I'm not sure if it's totally there. Also, if you're the Oilers, do you want to spend the assets it would take on a guy who you don't think, let's be honest, Kosa's not playing in the NHL next season.
It would be a first-round pick. It would cost you as well.
Well, that too, right? Like, Askarov it was Askarov with Nolan Burke in a third, for Edstrom, a conditional first. So, and who gives a shit about Magnus Corona?
It was a contract.
Yeah. So if you were to put that into Oilers terms, you're probably talking Bo Akey in a first.
That's exactly what I said.
Askarov is not, he's higher.
Askarov?
Yeah, he's
the
better.
Other thing, he is better, but I think the misconception on Askarov, which is, he was hyped up a little bit more because there was conversation about him.
Yeah.
But he only played 2 NHL games, and Kosa's played 1. I think Askarov, if I looked at like early 920s, and Kosa's was like a 914. The stats aren't that different.
Their 22-year-old season in the AHL, identical 9/11 save percentages.
There you go. So, like, I said that too, because when I was comparing it, it's like, well, Kosa won't cost as much. He's a really good goalie as well. Askarov just asked to leave Nashville.
Yeah.
So I added conversation to the fuel to the fire, sorry.
So whether it's Augustine or Kosa, would you be willing to trade Akey in a first? I don't know if the Oilers are in a spot where they can do that right now.
Oh, yes, I would.
You would?
Yeah, I would, definitely. Because
maybe if it's the 2028 first. I don't think I'm moving the 2027 first.
Whatever first. Yeah,
okay.
Whatever you can kind of figure out. I would be willing to do that because I think Kosa's a legit starter one day in the league. And I love Stuart Skinner and all that, as you all know. But like, is Kosa better than Pickard? The upside is definitely there for him to be better next season.
But if you're
save a bit of money,
and I do agree that you can't, like, and we've talked about this, like, you need to keep one eye on the future and one eye on now. Like, I get that. But if Kosa can't, he's not going to be in the NHL next season.
And that's something I was wondering about too, is would the team almost be getting too young and inexperienced if they got Kosa?
If you were, like, a year from now, next summer, I think you can more seriously consider this. And I think the Red Wings can more seriously consider this because they might know which one of Augustine or Kosa they're willing to part with. And you just get the other one, maybe at less of a price because the Red Wings are going, you know what? We're finally facing the pinch. We can't keep both these guys. One of them might say, you got to trade me or the other guy. Like Augustine might sit there and say, I'm not signing here because there's no path to me if you're keeping Kosa, right?
Yeah, definitely.
There also is the Edmonton connection with Kosa. He was an Oil King and a damn good Oil King at that.
Grew up in Fort Saskatchewan. I just think you need to keep your picks in case you really need to get a goalie at the deadline, which is a very likely scenario. Because Mackenzie Blackwood also went for a first-round pick.
He did.
So, just because that's the most
recent
recent
the
one.
reason I'm not doing this now is because I'm sitting here going, if you were to spend the first in Akey on Kosa right now, and then you get to the deadline, and Skinner's not playing well, and Pickard's not playing well, or one of them's hurt, you all of a sudden then need to go spend another first on the Band-Aid solution for a goalie for this run, and then you're sitting there going, I've traded 2 first-round picks for 2 goalies.
Do you almost just wait, like a Fighting Amish, or was it Fighting Amish? On the road of JT Shark, but on the Cam Talbot might just get traded this year from Detroit. And you can get him for just, let's just say, a 3rd-round pick.
Well, like, let's walk through another fun scenario where Detroit stinks this year. Not unlikely. They might stink.
John Gibson's available again.
Well, no. Like, what if you just went to Detroit at the deadline and were like, okay, it's a first, it's Akey. Maybe you even view that as an overpay for Kosa.
Yeah.
Right? Because, like, he doesn't have the same pedigree that Askarov does. He had World Junior success. He had a name around him. Kosa doesn't necessarily have that. But what if you went to Detroit and were like, hey, we want Kosa and we want Talbot. So here's a first, here's a 3rd, and here's Akey.
And here's Calvin Pickard.
And here's Calvin Pickard. And you're going to give us Cam Talbot at 50% retained, so now the money works.
Yeah.
And we get Kosa. And for this playoff run, we have Talbot and Skinner. And heading into next season, we're either trading Stuart Skinner, running into the next season with granted 39-year-old Cam Talbot. That's a dangerous game to play. But we have Kosa to pair with him. Or we're running Skinner and Kosa. And there's your goaltending solution. Like, there's a world where trading with Detroit makes a ton of sense. There's not a world where I think it makes a ton of sense to do it this moment. Unless that trade's open to you right now. But Detroit's not going to do that.
By the way, that team will stink. Their blue line is horrendous.
Their blue line will be good eventually, but it's bad right now.
Yeah. So, obviously, Team Canada released their Olympic camp roster.
Oh, yeah. You talked about that.
Which is, so Aaron and I went through, I believe there's 42 players on the list, 42, 44.
Yeah.
And tier listed them. I'm like, who would make the team, least likely to make the team, that good stuff. And one thing that really sparked conversation, which I was very surprised about, and I didn't say this based off the player's ability, just off the players who were on the team ahead of him. But I said Robert Thomas had no chance to make Team Canada, and people were not happy about that. People believe Robert Thomas has a very good chance to make this team. I'm curious what you think. That was something you missed. That was, I would say, a significant part of the show. My argument was, look at the centermen who were already on the team. The players ahead of him. Yeah. It just doesn't really seem to add up that Robert Thomas could make the team. Other players we had like in that category were like Bo Horvat, Aaron Ekblad. There was someone else, a couple other players who were just like, they're there to kind of fill out the numbers. I think we even had Nuge down there, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, Nuge isn't not making Canada. I do think, like, yeah, they probably want to do some amount of, like, inter-squad games. Like, you need to have enough players there to fill it out. Although I was surprised they didn't have a fourth goalie.
No, there's no skates.
Oh, there's no skates.
It's just off ice by the sounds of it, which is very interesting. It almost feels irrelevant.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't really.
Why are we even reading into? Why are we even doing this? Anyways,
it's August.
Yeah, it's August. That's fair. That's so weird. Also, like, again, what are you doing not inviting Logan Thompson?
Oh, Darcy Kemper, Mackenzie Blackwood.
Anyone.
Any of them.
Who's not Sam Montembeau, Raiden Hill. Like, Binnington won you 4 Nations, so, like, I have time for that, but, like, Jesus Christ. I could see a world where Robert Thomas makes it. It might take a couple injuries, but, like, I don't think he's that far away from the bubble.
So, here are the centers I had ahead of him.
Okay.
Tavares. And I had this in the order of so this is least likely to most likely.
Okay, least likely to most likely. Okay, so you Tavares,
Mark Scheifele, Wyatt Johnston, Connor Bedard, Macklin Celebrini, Nick Suzuki, and then the guys who I kind of said were basically on the team: Mitch Marner, Sam Bennett, Seth Jarvis, Anthony Cirelli, Sidney Crosby, Nathan McKinnon, Braden Point, Connor McDavid. So that, I think is that 19 players?
No, it's like 14 guys. 14. Okay, I have a problem with a handful of them. One, Marner's a winger on that team.
Sure.
Bennett is a winger on that team.
Didn't he play center? Well, he played center in the NHL.
Yeah, but he'll be a winger on that team.
So
Robert Thomas would also probably be a winger on that team. I have him over Connor Bedard.
Sure, but Connor Bedard was in my work to do category.
Okay. I have him over Wyatt Johnston. Robert Thomas is a better player than Wyatt Johnston.
I just think Wyatt Johnston if they wanted to go with like a little bit of a younger guy, I guess.
They never do.
They just took Seth Jarvis.
Yeah, they took one, but like...
No, I don't know. Like Brandon Hagel's not an old player. Sorelli as well.
Yeah, but they're not... Like, Wyatt Johnson is young. Robert Thomas also isn't an old player by that standard. Robert Thomas is 26 years old.
Brandon Hagel's 25, just for curiosity.
Yeah, but like they never go. They weren't taking like Wyatt Johnson's what 23.
I think he might be younger.
Yeah, he might be 22. Like they 22. Rarely ever go that young.
Okay,
Jarvis maybe being an example, but I think they wanted Jarvis at 4 Nations so that he could be like groomed a little bit for the Olympics, right? I like Robert Thomas as a player.
I like him too.
I think he's good enough to make the team.
I also think he's good enough to make the team, but I just don't think he will.
I think there's a world where like he makes it over John Tavares.
I had John Tavares in a doubtful category.
Yeah, I'd be stunned if he has a...
But John Tavares had more points than Thomas last year, I think.
Yeah.
And my point was like, I just thought he was very overhyped in the sense of, I always said he had no chance. It wasn't based off his ability, but like, look at how many players are ahead of him. Another conversation that was sparked from that and also bled into a couple of days after, Evan Bouchard, obviously a controversial player on this team, if they'll make it or not, was ranked 10th by NHL Network in the NHL as a defenseman.
Yeah.
Thoughts on that?
It's because he's a top 10 defenseman in the NHL.
Yeah.
I mean,
I know. And
I saw some of that debate from afar, and I was just like, of course we're doing this shit again.
I know.
And, TV. I got a clip on my TikTok the other day, and it was an old one of us from right after the playoffs when Nick Kyprios was like,
oh my goodness,
Evan Bouchard's not a defenseman you can win with. And it's like, they just went to the cup final with him as their number 1 defenseman.
But he's not a top 10 guy.
I'm so excited for Evan Bouchard next year.
I think he's going to be great. I think he has to be great as well.
He probably does, yeah, to an extent.
But yeah, top 10 defenseman. Aaron and I discussed it. There was no one else I had like above him in that list. I'm trying to pull up the final list. Oh, here it is. So these were the 9 players ahead of him.
Yeah.
I said there's probably no one I would move Bouchard ahead of. Yossi, Slavin, Darlene, Morrissey, Hedman, Heiskanen, Werenski, Hughes, and McCarr. I wouldn't have done anything, would have you? No, I think that was fair. Third Canadian on the list, by the way, for you, if you're still debating if he should be on the team.
Yeah. He should be on the Olympic team. And I know people being like, it's pointless with McCarr. Also, Evan Bouchard.
Josh Morrissey runs a damn power play too, and he's a lock on this team.
He can kill.
He can kill. So can Bouchard.
But now Bouchard, and that's why I'm excited to see how Bouchard handles the penalty kill next season, or if they use him there.
I hope they do. Last point, Matthias Janmark is not happy.
With me?
Just everyone. But we don't have to go too deep into it. But that's one of the 5 key things that happened.
Did you talk about that on the show?
No, I don't know if we should.
Nah, I don't want to talk about that. All right. Okay. We'll keep cruising along then. Let's get to the news for our friends at Star Mechanical. Find them online, starmechanical.ca, Edmonton's #1 plumbing and heating company. You can find out more by visiting them online at starmechanical.ca or give them a call. They do 24/7 emergency service. Victor Olofsson signed in Colorado. This is a really interesting player because he scores a lot. 105 career goals in only 370 games. He's 30 years old. Colorado gets him for like
1.75, I think.
1.57.
1.57. Damn, I was close.
He scored 15 goals in 56 games last year. I love this bet for Colorado because if you stick him with one of Nelson or McKinnon and he clicks.
They just replaced Jonathan Drouin.
Oh, yeah. Where did he go?
The Islanders. $2 million, 4 years over $4 million a year, I think, for 2 years.
That's wild that he went to the Islanders.
He just needed to hit the cap floor, I think. But yeah, I think this is a good bet for him. Olofsson scored 2 goals in a game against the Oilers.
He did in the playoffs.
Replaced Dorofeyev on the power play, I believe, just for the one game.
Yep.
I don't mind him. I think he struggles with he's very inconsistent.
Very.
But I think guys like that survive in the NHL, ironically.
Yeah, if you can score.
If you can score some goals, like you said, 105 goals, 370 games. It's pretty good. Last year was his first taste of playoff hockey.
Yeah.
I think he's a good player. I wouldn't have minded the Oilers to get him. I just, in the sense of like, if he joined the Oilers, I would like him, but also don't think the Oilers needed a guy like him.
Yeah.
You know?
All right. The other one. Today, Chicago announced a massive deal for Frank Nazar. This is a guy who has how many career NHL games?
Does he have 100? I'd be shocked.
No. I think he was a rookie last year.
He had 56 games.
Yeah, he's played 56 games in the NHL. Just came off his first, call it full season, playing 53 of those 56 games. Had 26 points. He was a first-round pick, 13th overall in 2022. He just signed a 7-year deal with a $6.59 million cap hit. I love this from Chicago because, like, again, if you believe that he's going to be the running mate right up there with Connor Bedard, get him signed to this deal, and it's just going to be gravy going forward. If you think even if you only think he's a 60, 70 point guy who's just going to be an everyday top 6 player for you, if you think that's his floor, this deal's a no-brainer. Frank Nazar gets, $30-some million, $40 million tucked into his jeans nicely, guaranteed money.
Great deal for him.
Great deal. Connor Bedard is extension eligible, by the way, but he doesn't have like arb rights or anything, so they'll probably wait on that. But again, you go long-term with Nazar out of the gate. If you go long-term with Bedard, it just makes your whole cap picture way easier going forward. So, yeah.
Is there a more overhyped draft class than the 2022 class? I don't think there is. That's Uri Slavkovsky's draft.
Shane Wright.
Simon Nemec, Logan, Shane Wright.
Cooley's sick.
Cooley's good. He's probably the best. Well, he definitely is the best player in this draft.
Yeah, he'd go, him or Lane Hudson would go first overall.
Lane Hudson was in this draft?
Think so, right?
I don't see him.
Late first?
No, he was a second-round pick.
Oh,
he was the Oilers' second-round pick.
Oh, they had the Kulak pick.
It might have been the year before.
Either
way, the Oilers took Reed Schaefer.
Who we turned into Matthias Ekholm.
Hey.
When was Lane Hudson? No, he was that year, 2022, 62nd overall.
Oh, he was a third-round pick. No, 63rd. Oh, there he is.
There you go. We got him.
Yeah, he's probably second best player in this draft. He didn't get picked for the U.S. Olympic.
Crazy. They took Brady Shea.
Yeah. I think people were saying they wanted like a penalty killer, but it's like you can still invite the guy to camp.
Well, especially because they took Luke Hughes.
Yeah. I don't get it. Also, too, Lane Hudson was ranked a top 20 defenseman in the league. Give me a break. We cannot be sitting here talking about Evan Bouchard can't do it.
Yeah.
To being the highest scoring defenseman in the playoffs by 20 years, but Lane Hudson is top 20.
Yeah.
Come on.
All right, we got to rip through a bit more of the show here. Sherwood Ford Giant question brought to you by our friends at Sherwood Ford the Giant. Find them right in the heart of Sherwood Park or find them online, sherwoodford.ca. Nation Valet service allows you to never visit the dealership again for your routine car maintenance. You had a Sherwood Ford Giant question that you wanted to ask to me.
Yeah, I was thinking about this because it's always a conversation, and I always hate this one. Whenever a player signs or a team makes a trade and be like, why didn't my team do that? Sometimes it just doesn't work out.
Yep.
So I wanted to throw some names at you. And of players, did the Oilers miss out on these players? A couple of them are trades. A couple of them are just signing players.
So am I just talking about, like, do I wish they would have gotten the player, or do you want me to do, like, am I keeping the cost in mind with it? Is it like...
Keep the cost in mind, but also, too, you got to think of the timing of when this went down as well, because the Oilers have done it. I tried to link them with players the Oilers somewhat we're in conversations with. Brock Besser being the first one, obviously signed 7 years in Vancouver, $7.25 million. A lot of conversation about him coming to the Oilers.
Yep.
Honestly, until the second he signed, I think we thought he was coming.
Yeah, I thought there was a real shot he was coming.
Do you think they missed out on him?
So what did they do? Like, this is where the conversation's tough with Besser, because it's like, how would they have squeezed him in? Obviously, there'd be no Mangiapane.
No Mangiapane.
But then you still need to find probably about another $3 million.
Yeah.
So you would have traded Henrique.
I think we would have seen a trade of some sort, maybe even a Kulak, for example.
Yeah, you might have seen Kulak out the door. So one of Kulak or Henrique are out the door, and you don't get Mangiapane, but you have Brock Besser to plug into your top six. But you're signing another big contract that's going to be on the books, which maybe makes life next year a little bit more difficult.
We did want another big player.
We did want another big player. Did they miss out? I'm not the world's biggest Brock Besser fan.
Yeah. He was just the best name on the market.
He was just the best name available.
Besides the
So
Eagles.
in that case, I'll say no, they didn't miss out, because sometimes just chasing the best player on the market because he's the best player on the market isn't smart, and I don't know if he's the right archetype of player for the Oilers. So I will say no, they did not miss out on Brock Besser.
Okay, here's a name. I didn't really think about this one until I was making this list, and I thought it might not have been as bad as it kind of may seem. Did the Oilers miss out on Chris Kreider? He has 2 years left, including this one, at $6.5 million, 34 years old, 123 playoff games, 48 playoff goals. Only a year, he had 22 last year in 68 games. The year before, he had 39 in 82, but only 30 points last season.
He does too much of his scoring on the power play, so they didn't miss out. He's not a 5-on-5 guy. I'd rather have Mangiapane because he's a 5-on-5 guy.
Would you rather have Evander Kane?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, probably. Because, again, like, I'm looking for 5-on-5 scoring when I'm looking to add to this Oilers team. Another reason, like, the Besser conversation. But, no, I wouldn't have touched Kreider. If he was 50%, no, I wouldn't have touched Kreider.
I think if he was 50%, I would have considered. Because he only went for a fourth and a nothing prospect.
Yeah.
Like, if you can get that guy.
At that cost at 50, maybe. But, yeah.
So this is a guy that's always kind of, I feel like the Oilers have never had deep interest in him, but he's a player that gets put into conversations a little bit for the Oilers. Serious injury last season, so we didn't see him a lot. Anthony Mantha signed with the Penguins for 1 year, $2.5 million. Big winger, right shot, plays left.
Injury prone.
Left winger, right winger plays left shot.
Yeah.
There you go. Injury prone.
He's pretty injury prone. Like, I'm trying to find the last time. I guess 23-24 he played over 70 games.
Yeah.
But year before that, 67. Year before that, 37. Year before that, 56. That was the COVID year. So, okay, there's the full season. Like, he gets hurt a lot. He's coming off the ACL thing or whatever it was with Calgary. Did have 23 goals in that season between Washington and Vegas. Does score a lot at 5-on-5. How much you say you go? 1 for 2 point something?
2.5 for 1 year. That's the intriguing part.
Yeah.
One year deal.
Trent Frederick wasn't in the picture. Maybe I would have been like, hey, that's a guy that can, like, play in your bottom six for you and maybe put up a little bit of offense. But because you have a Frederick, Mangiapane, Henrique all existing in your bottom six right now, I'll say no. It just would have, again, adding too many cooks. Like, you re-signed Kapanen too, right? You got him for cheap. You have Thomasek coming up. I'll say no. They didn't miss out on him, but I don't hate the player.
Alex Lyon, 2 years, $1.5 million, went to Buffalo very early on the day. Is that a play you think the Oilers missed on?
No, because he's not a significant enough upgrade over Calvin Pickard. Is he maybe a bit better than Pickard? Yeah. Is there maybe like a bit more of a ceiling there? Sure. If you feel uncomfortable with Calvin Pickard going on a playoff run with you, you're going to feel just as uncomfortable with Alex Lyon. He's 1.5 for the next 2 years. Pickard saves you $500K. You know Pickard fits well in the room. You know Pickard knows the system. All of that stuff. There's a certainty with Pickard. There's a cost effectiveness with Pickard. Alex Lyon's 32. He's not going to come in and have some sort of Tim Thomas-like run for you late in his career. Yeah. No, I'm good.
Last one. And I want you to keep in mind, I struggled to put 5 players together.
Yeah, it was a bad offseason in the
bad
NHL.
Offseason. There wasn't many players I even wanted the others to come. This is the guy I spoke about the deadline. He didn't end up getting moved until this time. But Keandre Miller, 25 years old, left shot defenseman, traded to Carolina, obviously, for Scott Morrow, a first-round pick, and a second-round pick.
Assets are
signing a huge deal as well.
Assets are insane. He ends up getting a $7.5 million extension, 8-year deal. The reason I'm saying no on this, if you do that deal, you're basically walking Jake Wallman to free agency next year.
Yeah.
You can't have Wallman, Nurse, Bouchard, and Miller all making north of $7 million. It just can't happen. Extend Wallman. You don't need and again, it's another lefty. Like if he was a righty, maybe I'd be like, maybe there's a case for him over Wallman. There's not. No, didn't miss out. The cost was astronomical. The cost to sign him was huge. There's no value in it. Like, there's not even like a year of $4 million. He was an RFA.
He was an RFA. You needed to sign. He had 27 points last season.
Yeah, no, not happening for me.
My only argument for it would be 25 years old. You're coming off a year where Ekholm was not himself in the playoffs. Obviously, significant injury. Would he be better than Wallman down the line? I think I'd rather take the shot on a 25-year-old with 368 games. He's probably played more than Wallman, I would think, in the NHL.
Carolina also made that move for Miller because they wanted Bouchard. And I think if the Oilers go get Miller, looks like Bouchard's probably.
Or if there's a world where Carolina does pull off their offer sheet for Bouchard, then yes, maybe I'd be like, you would have gotten 4 first-round picks from Carolina. So you could go spend one of them to go get Miller, and then you have Wallman running your power play, and maybe that was like something, but no. Yeah, 368 games for Keandre Miller.
267 for Jake Wallman, which is very interesting.
Less tread on the tires.
Hey, mate, yeah.
Even though one of them is 29 and the other one is 25. That's
funny.
Crazy.
Funny. Another reason why I think Wallman will be looking for a bag.
I can't wait for Jake Wallman next year. A full year of him will be awesome.
He'll be exciting.
Yep.
Excited. That's the 5 I got. I think I liked 2 of them.
Okay.
It's just the 5 that were there. Tanner, you know?
Oh my God, that contract was bad too.
It was terrible.
I forgot. That stunk. That was stinky. Terrible shit, Boston. Oh my God, the Bruins might be bad next year.
Someone said the Oilers will just reacquire Kane. They can't just go get him back.
Why not?
Because you can't trade to the same team. You have to go through.
Oh yeah, well they can't get him retained.
Yeah, but no, I don't think you can just get him back. Can you?
I think you can get him back,
can you?
But
Okay.
you just can't have retained salary.
Gotcha.
Original poster will DM us by tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
Okay, let's wrap up the show with the other sports report, brought to you by Litco Law. When employers cross the line, Litco Law is here to referee. If you've been fired without cause, pushed out of your job, or treated unfairly at work, a good employment lawyer can help. Call for backup so you can defend your rights and make sure you get what you're owed. Go to litcolaw.com and book your free consult today. You can find out if you have a claim in minutes or take as much time as you need to get the answers you need, because your hard work deserves what's fair. Level the playing field with litcolaw.com. There's one thing. First off, NFL football is right around the corner.
Very close. Trying to figure out my draft date right now.
Oh, yeah. A lot of fantasy leagues figuring that out. When is week 1?
September 7th.
Okay, so yeah, we're like 17 days away. That always lines up with the Shoreford Golf Tournament. It's always very exciting for me.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, what do we have here? Other sports report, then the only thing going on is baseball. Oh, yeah, the Toronto Blue Jays, first place in the American League East.
Remain first.
Still chilling. Were they in first place when I would have left?
Yes. Yeah. I think the first in the league, or at least the AL.
So when I would have left, last show would have been July 30th.
Yep.
The Blue Jays would have been, they would have still been 4 games up. So they have held on perfectly from when I left. Yankees, Red Sox still chasing them. Jays had a shitty series against the Pirates. That's fine. Stinkers happen. The Pirates are actually a somewhat decent home team this year. They're just awful on the road. But they're 74-24. If they go 500, they win 92 games this year, which is crazy. There's a world still. It's highly unlikely, but if they were to get hot and go on like another good 7-8 game heater, there's a world where they might be like a 100-win team this year, which is bananas.
How many 100-win teams are there usually a season?
2, 3.
Oh, really? There's a few.
Last year in Major League Baseball, there was none last year actually. 2023, there was the Orioles won 100 and Orioles, Braves, and Dodgers. So last year was maybe a bit of an anomaly, but they're 4 games up on the Yankees, 5.5 up on the Red Sox. Their schedule, it's not terrible. They have the Marlins coming up. They should be able to walk the Marlins. They have the Twins coming up. They should be able to smoke the Minnesota Twins, and that series is in Toronto. Then they get the Brewers, then they get the Reds, bit of a test. Then they get the Yankees, which will be a big one. And then it's Astros, Orioles. The season's coming to a close here pretty quick. It's a great time for baseball because we're in the final. We're at 128 games right now.
Yeah.
34 games left in the season.
Damn.
Every game means a lot. October's coming, and Shane Bieber is pitching tomorrow for the Blue Jays. First game since coming back from Tommy John. First game since the Blue Jays acquired him. It's in Miami, taking on the Marlins. Soulless ballpark.
The worst.
I saw they flex.
Soulless. So fair.
It's accurate. The Marlins posted a thing the other day being 35,000. It's a sellout. And it's oh my God, wow, they sold out because the Marlins put together a bit of a run for a little bit.
Did they? Okay.
And then I looked, it's because they played the Yankees.
Oh.
So it's just Yankees fans there. And the Marlins were we sold out a game.
God,
it's
place is...
No, you didn't.
There's not a vibe in there.
No.
Remember, they won the game we went to, actually.
Yeah.
And they had all the lights on at the end of the game, and it was super weird.
Yeah.
It was disappointing. Baseball should be played outside.
It should be. Retractable roof, I get it. Full-time dome, dumb as hell in baseball.
I don't like that. How many teams do that? Can't be many, right? Tampa, probably just the hot ones.
Yeah, Tampa and Miami do. But Arizona, I know they keep it closed most of the time, but it's at least retractable where you have the option to do it. The Jays right now, if you're curious about they're going to choke, collapse, miss the playoffs, whatever, they are not 8.5 games up on a wild card spot. On being out of the playoffs.
They would have to really choke.
The amount of teams that would have to jump them is insane. It's so hard to gain ground in baseball with the games back system because in order for a team to catch a full game on the Jays need to lose and they have to win. Otherwise, it just stays the same.
They essentially have to play each other.
Yeah.
Basically, right?
Which is what does kind of work out well for the Jays is they have to go to Yankee Stadium for 3 and they play the Red Sox for 3. So even if they were to lose all 3 to the Red Sox and lose all 3 to the Yankees, they're still up on both those teams.
Yeah, so they're fine. I went to the Elks game the other day. That was awesome. They won.
Yeah, they're cooking a little bit.
Yeah, they're doing well. They're actually underdogs this weekend against Ottawa on Bet365. So
I'm just looking. I'll touch on that in a second. First, Mainlander Tim says, anyone want to meet in TO September 12th to 14th to watch the Jays? Flights are cheap from St. John's. I already have my flights booked.
There you go.
Air Canada's the drug I cannot quit.
Oh my God.
I know. I looked. I'm please tell me I booked WestJet. Please tell me I booked WestJet. I looked. I'm damn it. But yeah, I'm going that weekend. I fly out. How about this? First off, shout out to my lovely wife, Amber, because she loves baseball and sports just as much as I do. We're taking the red eye Wednesday night. We land at 6 a.m. in Toronto. It's a 3 p.m. start for that, or a 1 p.m. start for that afternoon game, one of the two. So we're going to watch Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, fly home Sunday night.
Nice.
Back for the show on Monday.
Looking at flights for a Detroit game.
Oh, to go see the Lions?
I don't really want to go to Detroit.
But you want to see the Lions.
But I want to see the Lions. And there's one game this season that would kind of work out with my fiance's schedule as well, because it's on fall break. Detroit versus Washington in Washington.
In Washington?
Yeah.
Do you fly direct to Washington from here?
No, you can go Calgary, Washington.
Oh, okay. So not
it's
terrible.
Not too bad. And it's on fall break. So I might go and spend a few days in Washington. But, it doesn't seem like a good place to be right now.
I was going to say, man, Detroit might be safer.
Detroit might be better at the moment. So I try and figure that out. They do not have a good schedule for road games this year.
Warren Fogle asked me if I'm going to any Bills games this year. I don't think I am. I debated it, but I'll wait till next year when the new stadium's open. I went to one last year, but you never know. Maybe I'll finally do a playoff game this year. Maybe that's what I'll do.
That'd be cool.
That'd be cool. Warren Fogle. Oh, no, I already read that comment. Okay, so we're on to what's next. Bet365. Shout out to our friends at Bet365. Download the app today. Use the promo code NATION. Elks in action tomorrow.
What's tomorrow?
They're favorites.
They are now favorites.
The line has shifted, Liam.
Okay,
they are 3-point favorites on the road against the Ottawa Red Blacks. Elks have won a couple of games in a row here. You were hitting all your bets the other day.
Oh.
You know more Elks than I do.
Yeah.
Who are my touchdown guys?
Well, that Grant fellow has been catching quite a few this year. I believe he has 5 already on the season.
Keon, Julian Grant?
Yeah, I always forget because he has double barrel name. I like him.
Okay.
Justin Rankin has been dominating recently. I wish there was a way to do receiving and rushing yards combined like the NFL does in the CFL, but there's not that right now. 56.5 yards is really good for Rankin.
Okay.
Their line has been working well. Fajardo and him have got something good going. So I would look at him anytime touchdown as well.
You could do Julian Grant, Rankin, and the money line plus 650.
There you go. The other one that's not terrible, Elks defense has been playing pretty good recently in the sense of like causing turnovers. They didn't get one last game. They got one on the special teams instead. But Elks defense to get a touchdown is plus 550. I think they had 4 sacks last game.
So you
at
get
least 3.
Strip sack INT, something like that.
Yeah, like there's been a couple of times, and I think Ottawa, by the sounds of it, from what I've heard, is kind of hanging on in the bookies' eyes as like a team that's beat bad teams, but it's not been kind of flipped on them yet. So I don't mind them. Fajardo also too, like he gets a lot of touchdowns for a quarterback.
Tomorrow, Oilers Nation Radio. Today, new episode of Real Life. We'll be back. Show Monday. Tuesday, we're doing a fishing expedition, I believe. That was fun to be back. I missed being in the chair.
Yep, and then I am...
Are we going to get to go back upstairs?
I don't know. It's not a bad room, is it? Go paint it.
I want to go back upstairs.
Yeah, I want my bathroom.
Yeah. All right, that's a wrap. Go Elks tomorrow. Everyone go root them on. Shout out to Elks Nation. Shout out to our friends at Oodle Noodle as well, by the way. Didn't give them enough love today. Midnight snack. Never forget. Had Oodle Noodle on during the Hole in One challenge as well. Okay. Chat. Great to see you all again. Thank you all. If you all did send me kind words about the Hole in One challenge. I'm feeling great. My body's back up to 100%. I played softball last night. I'm young. I'm 27. I can bounce back from 2,100 golf swings pretty fast. But we'll talk more about that on Real Life. Enjoy the rest of your week. Enjoy your weekend. And we'll see you on Monday. Oil up. McDavid Day.